Hi there. Welcome to Barre-Elevated, or if you are returning, welcome back. My name is Holly Rivers, and the workout that I'm going to bring for you today is a barre class that's focused on slow strength. So what I mean by that is we're going to do many exercises that if you've done my barre or other people's barre before that you may recognize, but what I'm going to actually do is slow it way down. We're going to put a lot of mindfulness into it. We're going to put a lot more effort into it, and you might feel that, well, many times we think we have to do things super fast and super hard to build up our heat and sweat in the body. Sometimes if you do it slow and deliberate, you can do the same thing. So here we go. We're going to do barre for slow strength training, and what you will need is a ball and you will need weights. So you don't have to have either of those, so if you don't, or you can modify, just find something that is kind of firm and about this size. This is about 5 inches to 6 inches in diameter, and my weights are 2-pound weights. That's my preference. Some of my students will go up to 3 or 4 pounds. Just say hi to Yara. Yara's with me right now. Chloe will probably make an appearance. And 2 pounds to 5 pounds works. Don't encourage you to be over 2 pounds unless you're very familiar with the exercises and you're ready to go, just to prevent injury. And here we go. So we're going to get started. We're going to put our ball and our weights to the side, and we are going to start standing today. Your feet are hip width apart, and we are going to take a moment just to lengthen up through the body, let the shoulders drip down the back. Think about the neck growing nice and long. You can close your eyes. Notice how your body feels. Notice the parts as in relation to the whole. How does your head feel connected to the body, your shoulders, etc.? And we're going to take a deep breath in as you open your eyes and exhale. And we're going to get started with core activation. As many of you who have been with me before know, I always start with core activation. The core is the base of all barre type exercises. Making sure that you get that core going and get it activated. And for some of us, find our core, or the deep elements of the core, I should say. The core is really all of this. But we're wanting to really find that deep pelvic floor, is how it's referred to a lot, because it's way down the bottom. So we're going to think about that pelvic floor, which is the lowest of the muscles in your torso. They're the ones that work around your elimination muscles. They are your elimination muscles, so you want to think about that. You've probably activated them before. And we're going to bend our knees just a little bit. We're going to engage that pelvic floor. As we do that, we're going to think about tilting the hips to the front. Really think about that sacrum bone. So we have this beautiful sacrum bone here that's a triangle. That triangle is going to be curling way under, and it's going to try to point in front of us. And we're going to really think about that happening. Relax those shoulders, let that neck be nice and long. Now we're going to take the hip to the side. So we're going to let this side drop way down. We're going to let this activate up. We are using our deep pelvic floor abdominals to do this action. Now we're going to take it all the way to the back. So think about it being the pelvic floor that moves you to the back. And then we're going to take it to the side, other side. And then we're going to take it to the front. And now we're going to go to the other side. If you don't feel the pelvic floor engaging, that's okay. You're probably engaging it anyway. Keep it going, side, and take it front. And now we're going to reverse back again, side, and back. And one day you will find that you're like, oh, there's my pelvic floor muscles. And back to the side and to the front. Keep it going, side and back and side and to the front and other side and back and side to the front and side and back and side to the front. We're going to do it in a full circle, so we're going to smooth it all out. Take it to the front, rotate around to the side, take it all the way to the back, and take it to the side and bring it to the front and take it to the side. Keep those knees bent and to the back and to the side to the front. You'll find that it's a lot easier to do that. If you're here and you're trying to move your hips around, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And one more circle each side. Keep those shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades down the back, and bring it to a close. All right, we're going to bring our feet together. We're going to squeeze everything in. We're going to bend down into our knees. And from here, we're going to take and we're going to do little rotations that are going to rotate the knees around, but we're using and holding our hips in place as we do it. Really press those inner thighs together. Press those legs together. We're going to keep going in the same circle this time. Keep it going around and use that pelvic floor to hold the hips in place. So we're not going to move our hips, we're moving the knees. Take care, make sure that you are not hurting yourself. Take it smaller circles if you need to go a little bit smaller. You should start feeling a lot of heat building up in your inner thighs here. Now it's time to reverse. We're going to go to the other side. Engage that pelvic floor. Really think about keeping those hips in place. We just moved them a lot, and now we're actually holding them. We're going to take and use a little bit of that transverse abdominis. Our corset is going to engage and strengthen here as well. We have two more. And last one. And shake that out a little bit. I was feeling a little bit of heat building up there. All right, so we're going to come back to that hip width apart, and we're going to really think about engaging and pressing through our feet into the floor. So we're really holding that space. We're still doing a little bit of warm-up, still doing a little bit of our engagement and core activation. So now we're going to actually go up into the top. So if you want to, you can actually take your hand and place it just at the base of your rib cage. Call this the solar plexus. Right in here, so that you're in that kind of, there's the curve of the ribs through here, and that's your hand. We're going to feel our ribs go from side to side. Engage that pelvic floor. I really want you to hold that in place. Wrap that corset around the spine. Really press those feet into the floor as if you're pushing your legs down and away from you. We're going to take these ribs, and we're going to take just the ribs to the side. And then we're going to take them to the other side. And take it to the side. And take it to the side. And keep going, side. And side. And side. And side. And we're going to come to a pause. We're going to add another thoughtful element to it. So a lot of times it's easy to have our ribs open. We're going to take, now that you might be a little bit more, this is a hard, if you're not doing these rib cage isolations today, don't worry about it. Keep practicing. You will get better at it. I promise. We're going to take and bring our ribs in toward each other. So if you want to think about my fingers being my ribs, they're going to actually draw in. And hold on. We're engaging the intercostal muscles and the upper diaphragm. So as we pull those in, we're going to take and we're going to actually take the ribs, leaving those ribs pulled in the front, and take it out just enough to the front without losing those ribs. We're going to take it to the side. We're going to take it to the back. So it's like our ribs just kind of tilted to the back without tilting our hips. And then we're going to take it to the side. We're going to take it to the front. Now reverse. We go to the side and to the back, to the side and to the front and to the side and to the back and to the side and the front. Let's do one more set. I hope it's getting a little bit easier for you. And back and side. Isolating the ribs is one of the hardest things to accomplish. We're going to actually now take it into a nice circle. You can move and place your hands on the hips. Don't move those hips. Engage that pelvic floor. Keep those hips and the corset nice and strong as you circle around and reverse it to the other way. And do it again the first side. And take it back the other way. All right, we're going to shake it all out a little bit. So we've kind of got this a little bit warmed up and a little bit going. I want you to grab a hold of your weights, put the ball to the side. And from here, you're going to open up into that wide second position. And we're gonna rotate in those legs. Remember the weights in the balls of the feet. We have the little bit of weight in the back, but most of it's in the front. Lift up those kneecaps, really bring those glutes together. Wrap that corset, knit the ribs and shoulders down the back. And remember on the glutes, it's all about this lower part squeezing together. So we don't want to actually like really squeeze up. We want to just engage that lower part, the shelf. For those of you who want the lifted booty, that's where it comes from. The lift comes from underneath, not necessarily up at the top. All right, so we're going to lift and engage that, support our rotation with the glutes, wrap the corset. We're going to take our arms out to the side, rotate the palms face up, and as we bend our knees, we're going to take and bring our arms up all nice and slow. And then we're going to take it back down. And go again. Don't let the elbows and the wrist come below your shoulders. I think I did just a little bit that time. I didn't mean to. Now keep those shoulders glued down the back. And bring it down. And again. Nice and slow. Keep all of those muscles I told you to engage. Check in with the pelvic floor. Make sure you're engaging that pelvic floor. We've got 2 more to do. And down. And up. And last one. And open. And release it down. We're going to bring ourselves into that parallel closed leg position again. So again, we're here nice and closed. We're going to take the arms behind us, lift it up just slightly. And if you see that my ribs are expanded now, we want to really draw those ribs in and make sure they're engaged. Engage that pelvic floor. Engage that corset that I've talked about. We're going to bend those knees. From there, now we're going to keep that torso nice and strong as we tilt it forward. From here, we're just going to pulse, but slow pulses. So we have pulse 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Going again, we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and again. Now we're going to pause it. Keep those upper arms in place. Don't move them. We're going to rotate the palms. We're going to curl in. We're going to slowly take it back. Rotate the palms and press it away. And bring it back in. So this whole time I have my muscles are engaged. So I'm not just relaxing the arms and moving them. I'm actually keeping the muscles in a contracted state. Many of you have heard me talk about it before. That's called the isometric hold. Keep pressing those legs into each other so your legs are still working. Wrap that corset. Bring those ribs in and together. Shoulder blades are down the back. We've got 1 more. And press it away. Bring it up. And let that relax out. Find yourselves into a rotated, turned out position. Weights a little in the balls of the feet. Lift those kneecaps. Bring those glutes toward each other. Wrapping that corset around those organs. We're going to knit those ribs together. Take those shoulders down the back. Arms are nice and long down the sides. The shoulders are going to keep coming down the back. And we're going to open the knees out wide as we take the arms up to the side, dropping the shoulders down. And now we're going to come back up nice and slow. And we're going to take our sweet time to get down. Engage that pelvic floor. And bring it back up. And again. keep it going. We're gonna do 3 more of these. Keep those shoulders down, keep those ribs together, keep that corset and that pelvic floor nice and strong. 2 more. Press that floor away from you. And here's our last one. And bring it up. All right, shake it out. From here, we're gonna put our weights down. We're gonna grab a hold of our ball. If you want, this is gonna be a good time to have a chair if you need it. I should have given that instruction at the beginning. So if you need to hit pause and ready to get a chair, please do so. Or just move yourself a little bit over to something that you can hang on to. You don't have to have a chair. This will just be more challenging if you don't have a chair. All right, so you take your ball, your feet are in a hip width position. We're gonna take the ball, or you don't have to have anything, but put it between your legs. If you start to find that you need to take your legs out just a little bit so that you're not putting pressure against your knees, that's what you wanna do. Now, from here though, you can take your inner thighs and they're gonna squeeze in. Make sure your ball's not on the knees, it's either above or below. Bring that corset around, really make sure you're nice and strong here. Those glutes are still reaching toward each other, not as much as when we turn out, but they still are engaged. Think about those lower muscles in the gluteus minimus lifting and holding up your butt. That's one way to think about it. Your hands can be on your waist. They can be out to the side. If you have started getting used to this and you want to use weights, you can actually use weights to do more work on your arms. And you can also have a hand on, or you can have 2 hands, however that feels good for you. All right, from here we're gonna bend through those knees. We're gonna actually hold it here. Check in again, engage the pelvic floor, wrap that corset. Long spines are headed up toward the ceiling, and we're gonna pulse slowly. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Go again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Last one like this, 8. From now, we're gonna rise up onto our toes. This is where your chair may come in handy or something to hold on to. You can even use a wall. And we're gonna go again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Go again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lower it down and straighten. We're gonna take the ball. You can place it to the side. So y'all can't see this, but my kitty is curled up underneath the camera, take a little nap, making me feel like maybe I want to be taking a nap right now. But we will persevere, right? All right, feet are weights into the balls of the feet. Really think about those quads, lifting up, rotate, take those lower glutes, and we're gonna really hold up and under that, your booty, and we're gonna lift it up, and we're gonna think about it rotating the legs more so than the inner thighs. That'll help give you some support on those rotator muscles. Engage that pelvic floor, wrap that corset and knit those ribs together. I give these cues so much and all the time because they're super important, and the more you do these cues and the more you engage these cues, you're gonna actually be stronger, because these are the things that make these exercises so good. If you're missing these elements, then you're not gonna get the same kind of benefit from the workout. All right, again, you can have your hands on hips. You can use any kind of a thing. If you wanna have something right there in front of you to the side, or you can take your arms out to the side. It's up to you. We're gonna open those knees in an open plie position. Check in with yourself, check that pelvic floor, engage that corset, weights in the balls of the feet as you pulse here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8. We're gonna go again. We've got 1. So if you've never heard my joke before, many dancers have this joke, is we always only count to 8 because that's the highest that a dancer can count. 2 more, 7 and 8. From here, pause. We're going to take it up onto our toes. If you want to stay on your feet, stay on your feet. But if you want to go to your toes, go to your toes. And here we go again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Again, 1 and 2 and 3, woo, and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. We're going to pause here on 8. Now, if your hands are not out to the side like mine, you can leave them wherever they are. If you want to do something new with your hands, go ahead and keep those shoulder down. Take the arms up and over here and hold that balance in your legs. Now, keep on your toes. Woo! Straighten those legs. Really reach through those legs. Make them nice and long as you can. Wrap that corset to engage that pelvic floor. And from here, we're going to kiss the heels to the floor. We've got slowly 1 and back up. And 2 and back up. And 3 and back up. And 4 and up. And 5. Up. And 6. Up. And 7. And 8. Find yourself up here on the balance. We're going to find this balance right here. This is our last exercise. We're going to do a little stretching to wrap it up. Hold. And then bring it into a plie. And then straighten up. All right, shake it out. That was some really good work there. If you did that today and you found that you didn't feel a lot of stuff, that's okay. That means this is new to you and your body. And the more you do it, the more you will start picking up the cues and learning how those cues can actually make you put a lot more effort into the work. This bar method is about as much mindfulness as it is about bodyfulness, okay? So as you can hear, I'm starting to get a little bit winded, but that's because the way that I use the effort in my muscles means that I have built up a lot of heat in my body. All right, so I'm going to take this to the side. We do want to do a little bit of stretching to finish things out. We're going to do it from a standing position. We're going to take our arms out to the side, take it all the way up, lace the fingers together, rotate and press it up toward the ceiling. Keep those shoulders down. So if you notice my shoulders are not up to my ears, I'm going to draw my shoulder blades down my back, which is going to lower my shoulders. And from here, I'm going to press in one side through the leg, pick a leg, and then reach up and away from that leg. Lengthening through that neck, so we're not going to want to crunch our neck down. Think about it long. Stretching through the side body, stretching through that arm. We're going to come back up to center, and we're going to go the other way. Lengthening through. This is a moment where you can engage those ribs still, and when you're engaging the ribs, you're getting that isometric stretch going on. Press in that opposite leg, so that's what's really helping you move through this. and bring it to the center. From here, we're gonna take our knees, we're gonna bend the knees, bring your arms down to where they're at shoulder height. And now I'm gonna take the middle of my back and I'm gonna stretch it to the back wall. Pull through the arms away from your body, press the middle of your back. Think about your rib cage expanding through the back. And then from here, we're gonna take it back up. And this time we're gonna just do a nice lift through the front. Press those feet into the floor, anchoring yourself to the earth. Lengthen through the front. And this one, you can either let your ribs open up as much as possible, or you can engage them and find more of that isometric stretching. And bringing it back to center. We're going to take our arms out to the side. You might want to shake those out a little bit. And bring one foot front, take the other one back. Bend into the front, and then we're going to rock into the back. And bend. And rock. Think about that spine being nice and long. Bend that front knee. Take that back knee into a bend. So you should feel a nice stretch down the back of that back calf. And then straighten that back leg, straighten the front leg. And lean forward just enough. And now you've switched into the other leg. And bend. And up. Again. And we're going to do one more. And switch it. So from here we have nice long spines, wrap that corset, knit those ribs, and we're going to bend that front knee, letting that back knee sink as well. Try to press that heel in the floor. I have really flexible Achilles, so your heel might be up, just press it away from you. But I just have very, very long Achilles tendon. And straighten the legs, flex that front foot, lean your body forward, and then bend. And front. And bend. And straighten both legs. And bend. And straight. And bend. We're going to do this 2 more times. Last time. Open those knees nice and wide. We're going to open up. Take your hands on your knees. Really think about lengthening through. Now from here, I want you to straighten the leg and lean over the side and reach up. Lessen the bend if that hurts your leg. Stretch through, really lengthen that foot through the leg. Let that hip sink in. And bring it back into the second. And we're going to go to the other side. Let yourself sink into this hip. And bring it back down. From here, we're going to actually lean over, and you can take and reach a shoulder toward the front. And reach the other into the front. Come back to the center, bring yourselves up, bring your feet into that parallel position. We're going to take a breath in. And again. And palms meet at the top, bringing it down to the heart. Thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you again in another Barre-Elevated video.